We are back after an extended 3-day holiday weekend, and we're back at it. We're here on this Monday. We're going to work. We're not going to work real hard. For one thing, we got to warm up. It's 3 degrees in downtown Wenatchee. Count them, 3 degrees. We have not been this cold in 12 years, and we're in for a long stretch of cold weather. We're not even going to get close to the freezing mark, 32 degrees, for about 10 days. Get used to it. It's cold, and it's going to get colder, the National Weather Service tells us. Forecast details are coming up, but yeah, it is chilly. Elsewhere, I'll just walk around right now. Moses Lake is at 8 degrees, but they also have some wind out there at the northwest at 16. You factor in the wind chill. When it's that cold and the wind's blowing, it just cuts through your clothing like nothing. And Omak leads the way, -1. You take all the degrees and you get rid of them, and then you get rid of one more, and that's how cold it is in Omak. Get ready for more cold weather today, and we're going to have a little bit of breeze, too, in the Wenatchee Valley. We got a couple of slides to show for you. It's going to make you go. We'll talk about that. We'll take you up to the mountain passes. News, got that. Sports, Seahawks. We'll talk about it, because we have to. They blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter to a third-string quarterback. But the guy did once win a Super Bowl MVP, so we'll give him that. Seahawks are guaranteed to finish in last place in their division for the first time since 1996. And no, they're not going to the playoffs. We'll talk Kraken hockey and high school sports as well. We'll have the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays, an opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughty. And we're going to replay the interview that we aired last Thursday with Erica Moshe, who runs the Brave Warrior Project. Her organization does great work. We had a great conversation. The Brave Warrior Project is part of the Give NCW campaign, which is still continuing on through the end of the year. We wanted to give Erica a little extra love. We will do so today. Have I mentioned it's cold? It's 3 degrees outside of our studios, but I think we're going to have some pretty spectacular views with our cameras. Let's take a look at what we have here from the cross camera. Is that the regular cross camera, Uriah? It is, so that's not the lower one. Sometimes we use the lower one, which throws me for a little bit of a loop. So we have fairly clear skies, very light commute. A lot of people are taking some significant time off here over the holidays. Christmas and New Year's Day both falling on a Saturday. A lot of people are taking working shorter weeks or really not much at all. So there's very light traffic. And, of course, there's no school. But a lot of the side roads are pretty slick. We had that light dusting of snow that came a couple of times over the weekend. Good morning to the Valley with East Wenatchee holding court today. Camera 2. Oh, it's up to the monitor camera, I believe, looking back down towards Wenatchee. You can see the cross as it is brightly lit up on the center right of your screen, right above. You can see it from Wenatchee Heights. You can even see the transmitter tower up atop of Jump Off Ridge. As again, this is the monitor camera. We have it zipped back around. If we move to the other direction, we would see monitor and Cashmere, but we don't. We have it backed over to the Wenatchee side of things. And camera number 3. Omi Gardens checks in. Again, it's not quite that bright. Sunrise this morning, 7:48. Sunset, 4:17. 8 hours and 29 minutes of daylight. The cameras are supposed to do this. They're supposed to adjust themselves so they let in as much light as possible. It's really actually not that bright. And finally, camera 4. Ooh, Jump Off Ridge. Spectacular view. And, of course, there's quite a bit of snow up there because of the higher elevation. The Stimmel Basin covered in snow. You can make out Painbow Memorial Airport on your far right-hand corner of your screen there, upper right-hand corner. Way off in the distance is the valley proper from a spectacular view from Jump Off Ridge, high above Malaga and Stemilt. Good stuff this morning. Okay, we have some cold climate facts to pass along to you. It's a look at some of the coldest temperatures ever recorded, as well as the last time temperatures were 10 degrees or colder for the high, or -5 or colder for the low. Now, we're not going to get that cold, but this is right now at 3 degrees, the coldest we have seen in the Wenatchee Valley since 2009. Now, the record low on this date is 1 degree. We may get there. I don't know. Usually the very coldest part of the day is right after the first 10 to 15 minutes after the sun comes up. We'll see. Right now we're at 3 degrees. It's still plenty cold for everybody. I don't remember the winter of 1968, and I'm glad I don't. -21? Are you kidding me? Which is the all-time coldest temperature we have ever registered. Now, that wasn't on December 27th of 1968. That's just the coldest temperature ever recorded. Now, that is cold. It's going to get cold. It's not going to get that cold. -21. That's crazy. Now, we factor in the wind chills, and it really feels cold. To the north of us, especially in the Okanagan Valley, they have some very strong winds. Basically, it's blowing down the Okanagan Valley right into the Waterville Plateau and out in the Moses Lake area. This is going to be through the day today. We're going to have some hit and miss wind here in the Wenatchee Valley today, just off and on gusts, which is, and you'll know it when you feel it. It gets really, really cold. So the Okanagan Valley, we're going to see some pretty strong gusts up there. They can see gusts next to 40 miles an hour. You factor in the fact that at Omak it's -1. You factor in the wind chill, it's -14. Wow, that is cold. Very, very cold indeed. And this is going to be through the day today. So we're dealing not only with bitterly cold temperatures, but the wind chills as well. Now, the wind will be dying down by the time the sun goes down tonight. But, that's downright dangerous cold. Okay, from the National Weather Service, here we go. The sun will be coming out. The clouds will be clearing out. Where they say we're going to get to 17 degrees. I don't know. It's a long climb between 3 and 17 degrees. We may not even get that warm. 5 for the overnight low tonight. Now, again, we're at 3 degrees. The record low on this date is 1. We're pretty close to it. Tuesday, again, some sunshine, no wind, maybe a degree warmer. And then once again, the overnight low right down to about 5 degrees. That's just cold. Slightly colder on Wednesday for the high, but a little bit warmer. As you can see, we're going to be stuck in this cold pattern for quite some time. Measurable snow on Thursday. Yep, about a half an inch possible. Maybe an additional half an inch on Thursday night. We're looking at maybe about an inch of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley during the day on Thursday. Be heads up with that. Outside of that, just plain cold. We're not going to get to the freezing mark, they tell us, until well in to the new year. So the coldest actual cold temperature is going to be today, tomorrow, and spilling into Wednesday before we have a gradual, and I mean very gradual, warm up beginning on Thursday. It's going to take its sweet time. Okay, to the mountain pass as we go. Your pass report brought to you by D.A. Davidson, the strength of a trusted partner and personalized solutions to meet your financial needs. Member SIPC. Right now, the camera on Stevens is not working. It's down. That's a live shot of Blewett Pass. That looks to be a snowplow getting the job done. Blewett Pass has a traction tire advisory. It is not snowing, but there is compact snow and ice on the roadway. When it was daylight and I looked at the pass yesterday, there's a lot of snow on the roadway. It's pretty dicey. Should we go to Snoqualmie Pass? Let's see what's going on there. Traction tires are required on I-90. You got all 3 of them. You got your compact snow, you got your compact ice on the roadway, and it's also blowing a little bit up there as well with some poor visibility. So traction tires required on Snoqualmie Pass. On Stevens Pass, we don't have a photo, but I'll tell you anyway. Chains are required on all vehicles except all-wheel drive on Stevens Pass. It is snowing lightly on Stevens Pass. The camera I'm looking at on my computer is at Cole's Corner at the rest area. There's a lot of snow on the roadway there. So to recap, on Stevens Pass, it's a chain requirement. Blewett Pass, traction tires advised. I-90, traction tires are required. Just a little bit of light snow today, and that's it. In fact, they're expecting almost no snow at all in the Cascades until Wednesday night. But heads up, we're expecting about an inch of snow here in Wenatchee on Thursday. They're going to get 3 to 7 inches on Thursday and an additional 4 to 5 inches on Thursday night. So Thursday, circle that in your calendar. That's not going to be a day you're going to want to go over the mountain passes. So there you go. Traction tires are required on Snoqualmie, advised on Blewett, and there you go. Good luck. 9 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, your Monday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Are you looking at buying your first home or additional homes, perhaps an investment property or refinancing? Let the local Caliber home loan experts help guide you every step of the way with 2 convenient locations to serve you in Wenatchee and Chelan. Give us a call today.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Live channel.
nearly clear skies, 3 degrees. In downtown Wenatchee, it's the coldest we've seen in 12 years. And it's going to get cold all this week. It's going to stay cold right into the new year and beyond. All right, we begin with this story. A former Confluence Health cancer physician has pled guilty to 2 charges of violating protective orders granted to his estranged wife during divorce proceedings. 37-year-old Dr. Tyler Buckley, he was facing felony counts of computer trespass and witness intimidation, plus a misdemeanor charge of 4th-degree assault. Chelan County prosecutors dismissed the most serious of those charges after Buckley's plea on December 13th. He received a suspended sentence in district court, plus a $350 fine and 2 years of supervised probation. Police say Buckley had shoved and injured his wife and loitered near her workplace in violation of the protective order. In his plea, Buckley admitted only to texting and phoning his wife, while he was barred from doing so by a judge's order. However, Confluence Health said he also used his access as a staff oncology physician to look up his wife's medical records. That is in violation of patient privacy and hospital privacy. Dr. Buckley resigned from Confluence Health back in November. A 25-year-old Moses Lake man was arrested last Wednesday for rape of a child after DNA evidence revealed that he was the father of an 11-year-old girl's baby. Richard Jensen Jr. was booked into the Grant County Jail on 2 counts of first-degree rape of a child. Grant County Sheriff's Deputy Kyle Foreman said Child Protective Services notified the Sheriff's Office in October of a pregnant 11-year-old girl. Foreman said the girl told detectives Jensen was the father, and when he was interviewed, he reportedly admitted to sexual contact with the girl. Once the baby was born, DNA samples were collected and sent to the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab, which established Jensen as the father. When he was arrested on Wednesday, he did so without any incident. The Omicron variant of COVID-19 is here in Washington State, but it hasn't really taken a hold yet. But hospital officials say when it does, and it will, it could be a major challenge for health systems. Dr. Jason Lake, Chief Medical Officer of Confluence Health, was among hospital health leaders from around the state who participated in a Washington Hospital Association press conference on Thursday. Here's what he had to say about Confluence's current status in the pandemic.
So our fully vaccinated rate in Chelan County is 62.4%, and our fully vaccinated rate in Douglas County is only 56.3%. And we track, obviously, the vaccinations that we're administering from our system, and most of those vaccines are booster shots, which are great, but there aren't that many new people entering the vaccination series. So I don't expect that those fully vaccinated rates are going to significantly shift over time, which could be problematic as we think about the Omicron surge. Right now, our positivity rate for the tests that we do remains about 7%, which is honestly the lowest we've seen in quite some time. So we have not yet seen a significant uptick in that. From an inpatient standpoint, we have 15 COVID positive patients in the hospital right now, 14 of which are not fully vaccinated. So continuing to see that trend of unvaccinated people admitted to the hospital. We have only 1 in the ICU, but 7 others either on high flow oxygen or on BiPAP. And then just thinking about our hospital census, so although we have 176 licensed beds, only 159 of those are easily accessible for adult acute issues. The rest are mother, baby, or nursery beds. So of those 159 available beds, our census this morning is 152, so about 95% utilization of those adult beds. So COVID right now is accounting for about 9.4% of all of our beds, but our hospital remains very full. Because of that and our staffing challenges, we remain on a no inter-facility transfer status. We do try every day to evaluate every request, especially from our critical access hospitals in our region, and we will accept patients when able, but we do remain on that no inter-facility transfer status. Every stroke, cardiac, or trauma case that we get is request for transfer that we get is vetted through our ER docs to see whether they require immediate treatment in our facility. So we do those on a case-by-case basis. We do know of some patients being kept at our critical access hospitals that really should have a higher level of care just because there's no place in the region to transfer them to. And that's, providing a level of care that we don't want to serve to our people in the region. We want them to be able to get the appropriate level of care. And in some cases, that's not happening. From a staffing standpoint, it continues to be very challenging. We continue to have high vacancy rates. We have over 110 nurse openings, which is about 18.5% of our total inpatient nurses. We have a lot of CNA and respiratory therapy openings as well. We did benefit from the Department of Defense team, which provided us with 20 staff in the month of November, but then they left. We do still have about 35 staff through the ACI and their contract with the Department of Health. So we're really happy to have those folks through February because that's allowing some of our permanent staff to get a little rest and relaxation that's needed. We still do have over 60 travelers in our inpatient facilities. And really, we're worried about a possible Omicron surge. We're worried about our ability to accommodate increased testing. We're really worried about its effects on our staff. And if our staff start getting infected, how are we going to be able to adequately staff our beds? So really want to, again, encourage everyone to get vaccinated, get their boosters. It's very easy, obviously, to let your guard down during the holiday seasons when you want to gather with friends and family. That's something that we all cherish. But the downstream impacts to our health system could be significant if we do let our guard down. So I think we have to take all those protective measures that we know are very effective in preventing the transmission of this. I do have concerns just about the logistics and our ability to accommodate a significant increase in testing demand. As we enter the respiratory virus season and with the likelihood that Omicron may have a different or more widely variable degree of symptoms in patients. So a lot of patients with mild symptoms, and they don't know if it's the regular cold or COVID. And we as a community health standpoint want to know if it's COVID so we can isolate those people accordingly. And then also we have new Osha guidelines that are supposed to take effect in January, where large employers, if they have unvaccinated individuals because they have an exemption, have to have a testing regimen for those employees to be able to go to work. And those large employers, at least in our region, are looking to partner with someone to help them in that testing capacity. And we as a health system, we have to focus primarily on sick people and testing those. So I'm not sure we can partner with those large employers just for screening testing for them to go to work. So we're trying to figure out how to navigate this, the likely significant increase in testing demand that may happen over the next few weeks.
And finally, Link Transit has a bigger budget and bigger plans for the new year. The Wenatchee Valley Public Bus Agency approved a $21.7 million budget last week. That amounts to a 12% increase, thanks in part to strong sales tax revenues. Next year, Link will begin the expansions recommended in its comprehensive plan. That includes more frequent service between Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, express service between Wenatchee and Leavenworth, and more stops along the routes. Link says that ridership declined during the pandemic, but it is starting to bounce back, and expanded routes will help keep pace with the area's growing population. And that's what's making headlines on this Monday morning at 19 minutes after the hour. The news will come your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 with Grant Olson in the anchor chair, Eric Granstrom at the sports desk. With a preview, here's Grant.
Good Monday morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, unseasonably cold Arctic air is upon us. I'll let you know how cold we'll get and how long it will last in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has a wrap on all the weekend's prep and college basketball action, as well as the latest on the Seahawks and Kraken. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. And during the news, we dropped 2 more degrees. It's 1 degree. 1 degree. in downtown Wenatchee. So we have tied the record low for December 27th, which was set back in 1996. It's cold. Don't forget, if you have a news tip or you just want to drop us a note and say hi, we try to make it as easy as possible. Look at the bottom of your screen there. Facebook, website, email, telephone, technology. It's here to stay. Going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk Seahawks because, well, we got to talk Seahawks. We'll do so in a minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
I'm Dr. Malcolm Butler. I'm a family physician here at CVCH, and I've been a family physician here for the past 28 years. For 25 of those years, I've been the chief medical officer, and now I get to return to my first passion, which is the delivery of primary care. I'm looking forward to welcoming you and your family to join me as I practice 3 days a week in our 600 Orondo building in Wenatchee.
"22 minutes after the hour in sports, the Seahawks just did what they've been doing all year. They just gave away another game. It's pretty simple. The Bears got the better of them, 25-24. Seattle let a 10-point fourth quarter lead slip away in the snow at Lumen Field. Third-string quarterback Nick Foles leading the Bears to victory, scoring a touchdown and a 2-point conversion with 61 seconds left in the game. A dejected Pete Carroll says it was another case of a game that the Seahawks should have won, and they didn't.
Well, that was about as disappointing a loss as we've had. We were in control in so many ways in that game to go win it and put it away, and we just never did, and let them stay alive. And they found a way to make their plays, and we had to do some stuff to give them that opportunity, and they took advantage of it. And give them credit; they've been struggling all year too, and it's a big win for those guys. I feel like I have to do more. I at a time like this, I feel like I got to find ways to help our guys more so that we don't get in a situation where we even give them a chance. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to figure out how I can help and get us cleaner right down the stretch and win a football game and not give something up and the penalty that we get and all that kind of stuff. We get things that we can do better. We got to do better. And I'm asking them to do the same thing.
Seahawks converted just 3 of 10 third down opportunities. That's been a theme all year. Also a theme, not controlling the clock. Chicago had the ball longer than the Seahawks did, and Coach Pete Carroll said that's pretty much been the theme all year.
But the fact that, they get more first downs than us and it's 38-20 something or, whatever it was in the time of possession, that's been pretty constant. That's not a good way to be playing. But I liked our balance. That we were able to run the ball and mix it. We had a couple good touchdown passes, but we still came out 3 out of 10 on third down again. Which is that's just not good enough execution. We got to be better there. And when you look at the other side of it, we went back to the old ways. We were 7 out of 14. And we've been so much better than that throughout most of the year. And then to come back to that really pisses me off because that's not the way we want to play.
Russell Wilson threw 2 touchdown passes, but he didn't have a very good game. He was 16 of 27. And, of course, he was sacked twice, including one late in the game that led to a missed Seattle field goal. Russell Wilson says the Seahawks left a W right out there in the field.
And honestly, this game, we should have definitely had this one. The way we were playing, the way that I felt like we were moving the ball. Rashad Penny had an unbelievable game. The line was blocking their butts off. See DK score that touchdown, that was huge. Other guys, Gerald get in the end zone, that was awesome. We had some really great things too. DJ Dallas had another great game. There's some amazing great pieces that we did. Did things. He had a great time. He did a great job running the ball. Made some couple plays on offense, and then obviously his special teams efforts. And I think that as a collective effort, we could have finished better.
Yeah, that crucial sack late in the game, which eventually led to a missed field goal. That was a big thing. In the fourth quarter, Russell Wilson was 4 for 7 yards. The 10th-year Seahawk says he's just going to try and focus to be better.
We all have to be better, man. I mean, we all want to be better. I think, I want to be better every day. I want to be the best at it. I want to continue to work at it. I think we all want to get better at it. I think every player in that locker room, every coach and everything else. And so, the only way to get better is to be able to stay focused on what's right next ahead of us. And that's going to be tomorrow morning. When we wake up, if God willing, we wake up and to be tomorrow morning that we get to do it and focus on that. And I think it's the only way to get better. And so, like I said, this season's been disappointing for sure, in that sense. But, despite the disappointments, in sports and life and anything, I'm grateful that God gave me the opportunity to play it and to do it again.
Nick Foles played his first game of the NFL season as the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. And, of course, he led the Bears to that come-from-behind victory. He once won a Super Bowl MVP, so Coach Pete Carroll said he wasn't surprised.
He kind of did what Nick does. I mean, he makes plays. And he came through for them. He was under duress. So we were rushing well. We had coverage on guys, but when it came down to it, he has been a playmaker. Throughout his career, and he did it today. The throw to Jimmy and the throw on the 2-point conversion was ridiculously perfect. And he did it. We had guys around him when it happened too. Got to give him credit. That's not a surprise that Nick makes plays like that. He's been doing it. And I was worried about the fact that he was coming in the game, when we got that, just knowing and having respect for the game that he's always been able to present.
Seahawks, by the way, are now officially eliminated from the playoffs. They ain't going, no surprise there. Next up on the schedule, the 2-12-1 Detroit Lions will be at Lumen Field Sunday at 1:25 on Fox. Good seats still available. The Seattle Kraken spent the holiday, along with the rest of the NHL, on COVID shutdown. They'll try to get back to the ice on Wednesday. They'll be at home against Philadelphia, we hope. The league shutdown means it'll be 11 days between games for the Kraken. Coach Dave Haxtell says that's why it's so important to get good work in on the ice when they have the chance to do it.
Like I said, that's the biggest thing, and that's why I mentioned, to Ryan's, my point there. That's where our focus needs to be right now is a couple of great days of practice. We've been off for a significant amount of time. It's a little bit more time than everybody is accustomed to. So these practices are really important, regardless of who's available and who is not available. The practices are really important to make sure we get some rhythm back and get the level of our game back to where it needs to be going into game action.
The Kraken only had 15 players slap on the skates and practice on Sunday. They have a lot of players on the COVID-19 reserve list. Coach Haxtell says that plays a part in team chemistry.
Everybody has to work real hard at it. Coaches have to be well prepared and organized. Players have to dig in and make sure that they are in tune with everything and understanding everything. And then you have to work, obviously some of the issues when you have players in and out of the lineup, some of the chemistry issues, you have to really work hard to rise above those as well. And that's where, again, back to, practice time and the importance of it is great.
So we'll see. Again, they're scheduled to play Wednesday at Climate Pledge Arena, Philadelphia and Seattle at 7 o'clock. If they do play, you can watch it on Root Sports Northwest. Speaking of hockey, the Wenatchee Wild will be back at practice this week. They'll be hosting Prince George for the last 2 days of the year. Wenatchee riding a 5-game winning streak into the holiday break. The Spruce Kings will be in town for a 6 o'clock game on Thursday, 7:05 on Friday to ring in the new year. Silas High School in Tacoma is the site for the T-Town Throwdown Tournament over the next 3 days. The Wenatchee boys will take on Foss this morning at 11 a.m. Eastmont is a fill-in team after another team dropped out, and they will play either Federal Way or Newport tomorrow at 3:45. Wenatchee will face either Franklin Pierce or Emerald Ridge tomorrow at 5:30. And finally, last night, the Miami Hurricanes said we will not be going to El Paso and participate in the Sun Bowl. So they're looking for another opponent for the Washington State Cougars, but at this point, with the Sun Bowl scheduled for Friday, the odds are pretty good that the Cougars' season has come to an end. We will wait and see, but I don't think it's going to happen. And that's what's making some of the games people are playing here at 30 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday today is National Fruitcake Day. Yes, it's always on December 27th. For you fruitcake lovers out there, and I don't know who you are, this is your day. 39% of all people who get a fruitcake for the holidays gives it to somebody else. Fruitcake goes all the way back to ancient Rome when they made something resembling fruitcake. It was very dense. It had the necessary calories and the necessary things that the Roman soldiers would need, and you could easily carry it with you. And if you cook it in the right amount of alcohol, mostly rum, it lasts literally for years. You can eat it a year or two or three after you've made it. And so it was the Romans who said, if we put all these things together and preserve it in sugar and alcohol, we can take it with us on our battle plans and not have to worry about cooking anything. So there you go. I think I might have a fruitcake from ancient Roman times. By the way, mass-produced fruitcakes are alcohol-free. If you want a fruitcake made with alcohol, you're going to have to do it yourself. Best of luck. 31 minutes after the hour, today in history. Happy birthday to the Showplace of America. Radio City Music Hall opened its doors on December 27th, 1932, 89 years ago today. It was, at the time, the largest auditorium in the world. It is no longer the largest auditorium in the world, but probably the most famous auditorium in the world, Radio City Music Hall. The opening extravaganza on this date in 1932 was a disaster. It started at 8 o'clock at night and it ended at 2 o'clock in the morning with bad pacing. They had a bunch of people up on stage at any one time. Nobody could tell who was what and doing anything. A lot of people simply walked out. Some people never even made it into the lobby. They just hung around there and then they said, this is boring, and they went home. So they had a really bad opening night extravaganza. They would get better with time. Happy birthday to Radio City Music Hall. When you walk in the doors there and you make it into the main auditorium, the first thing that strikes you is, man, this joint is big. And it's 89 years old today. December 27th, 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. It became known as the Soviet Union's Vietnam because it went on forever and they lost. Same scenario, you know, butting into other people's business. Something was going on in Afghanistan. They didn't like it, so they invaded Afghanistan. It would eventually lead to the Olympic boycott the next year. 42 years ago today, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, and it didn't go very well for them. And finally, 38 years ago today, could you do this? Could you do this? Could you forgive a person who shot and nearly killed you? The Pope did. Pope John Paul II visited Mehet Ali Akbar at his prison cell in Rome and personally forgave him for the 1981 assassination attempt. Pretty classy. 33 minutes after the hour. Today in history. The great Scotty Moore would have been 90 years old today. Elvis Presley's guitar player. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, class of 2000, way back in the early days. With Elvis Presley and Scotty Moore and Bill Black and DJ Fontana, Scotty Moore, the electric guitarist. Keith Richards once said, when I first heard Heartbreak Hotel, that was it. That was the game changer. All I ever wanted to do after I heard Heartbreak Hotel and that guitar solo was to play electric guitar in a rock and roll band. He said everybody wanted to be Elvis. I wanted to be Scotty Moore, the great guitarist, who would have been 90 years old today. Speaking of a rocker and a roller, the great Mick Jones, one of the great vocalists in rock and roll, started out with Spooky Tooth, eventually would sing lead for Foreigner, and he's still very active in the music scene. Mick Jones, 33 years old today. And happy birthday to a Northwest athletic legend, Mark Few. Is 59 years old today, the head coach of the Gonzaga men's basketball team since 1999. He's been on the staff since 1989. He has led the Bulldogs to the NCAA tournament every year that they've had a tournament as the head coach. He has the highest winning percentage of all time at 836, 21 consecutive appearances in the NCAA tournament, which is a record for somebody who started his head coach and then he's been a head coach for 21 years, 21 tournaments, and he is the only coach to win 8 or more consecutive conference championships twice. Mark Few is 59 years old today. Going to take a break on this very chilly Monday morning at 35 minutes after the hour. Got an opinion from my Mad Dog Magnotti. We're going to replay the interview I did with the Brave Warrior Project and our good friend Erica Moshe It's good stuff. It's going to warm up your heart over the holiday season. We'll have that when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Are you frustrated because you feel like you aren't getting the internet speeds you pay for? One of the most common ways to test your internet connection is called a speed test. These are free and easily located on the internet and can tell you how fast your internet is. However, for certain reasons, these tests may not always be accurate. A speed test shows you how fast a file can be downloaded to the computer you're running the test on. However, there are many things that can affect the speed of that download besides the speed of the internet going into your home. A few of the things that can affect your internet speed are poor Wi-Fi signal, other wireless signals interfering with the wireless signals coming from your router, other devices in your home draining your bandwidth, your computer or phone running apps programs in the background that you aren't aware of, slowing your entire device. Any of these things can slow down your internet. Your internet is like water flowing down a pipe. There's a big pipe bringing internet to your local area, and a smaller pipe coming off of that bringing internet to your home address. Your router is just another pipe that brings the internet inside your house, and every device inside your home is like a pipe connected to the router. Just like with water, if any of those pipes along the way are too small for the amount of internet that needs to flow through for a family, the flow for everything down the line will be much slower. It's a lot like trying to push all the water going into your house through a small straw. Also, again, just like with water, if everyone in your home is using the internet at once, any individual device may not be able to receive the full flow of the internet. It's like your whole family trying to drink out of that small straw all at once. If you're struggling with internet that is slower than expected, make sure that all of the devices that your internet flows through are working correctly, and check all devices in your home for background programs that may be using the internet. If everything still appears to be working correctly, contact us and we'll be able to help.
Hello, North Central Washington. I'm Dave Tosh, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and I'm excited to announce a new variety show entitled Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Senior Center, and I think you'll find it educational, informative, and a lot of fun. Join us for the new program, Vibrant Living.
I'm John Divas from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
This holiday season, let Wild Birds Unlimited help you deliver something truly special to friends and loved ones. The gift of bird feeding. Even if you can't be together in person this year, a busy backyard bird feeder will bring a little smile and a little connection with you. We're here for you with safe, convenient shopping, whether it's in-store, at curbside, or when you order online. Wild Birds Unlimited. Joy delivered.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I sometimes see on Facebook posts about pictures of police officers in full SWAT gear and the like, stating that these officers are heroes, men and women of courage, and they are. Hey, no doubt, believe me. But a lot of that, if I may say so, is just sometimes macho posing. Not in any way to show disrespect to those involved in the aggressive and potentially violent side of police work, but this is another side of police heroism. Those cops who deal with wounded victims, very often children. Wounds that are not physical, but instead emotional and psychological. It's these interactions with the most vulnerable members of our society which caused cop-turned-author Joseph Wumbaugh to say that it's the emotional and psychological stressors of these kind of contacts that make police work the world's most dangerous profession. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Happy holidays from your friends at Wenatchee Power Sports. Come in today and check out our inventory of Polaris snowmobiles, accessories, and apparel. We also carry a large selection of snow gear from FXR, Climb, BCA, and more. The entire Wenatchee Power Sports team is dedicated to keeping our inventory stocked as we continue to provide a level of customer service that's second to none. From dirt bikes and utility vehicles to snowmobiles and watercraft, we have you covered for every season. Your adventure begins here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino is the perfect place to meet in East Wenatchee. The Old West theme takes you back in time with casino gambling and poker tables. And now you can play the best games on or off the tables. Stop by and check out the new game room. All your favorite games and extended late night hours makes the Clearwater your best bet for a great time. And if time slips away having so much fun, stay the night next door at the Cedars Inn. It's all here nightly at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino in East Wenatchee.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington since 1984, providing the finest Bryant systems for both your heating and cooling needs. Along with prompt and professional service for both your residential and commercial needs, they also offer service and maintenance on your gas fireplaces. As always, Arctic is available 24 hours a day for any of your emergency calls. Whatever it takes, Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, the temperature experts.
The Culinary Apple in downtown Chelan is your specialty gift and gourmet cooking store. Find everything from homemade fudge to kitchen gadgets for your favorite chef. Your holiday shopping is a one-stop experience at the Culinary Apple.
This Christmas, shipping and receiving is more important than ever. Jerry and Sherry are here to help. Mailboxes Chelan provides everything you need to get that special gift delivered for the holidays. Given this year's challenges, you must ship early. Visit Mailboxes Chelan today.
When it comes to gift giving, call the Cheesemonger Shop to order a gift basket filled with cheese, salami, and maybe a bottle of wine. Stop by Leavenworth or Pybus Market in Wenatchee for a cheesy sample. When you think cheese, think Cheesemonger Shop.
D'Olivio packs big flavor into their shop at the Pybus Market. Santa's helpers find just what they need, from savory oil and vinegars to delicious chocolates and unusual sweet treats. Have a basket of goodies created just for gift giving at D'Olivio.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is the holiday season. We like to go out of our way to spotlight some of the folks who are doing good works here in the Wenatchee Valley. And so we drove, about 3.5 blocks from our studios to the Brave Warrior Project headquarters. This is the old press room at the Wenatchee World Building, between the Coho Building on one side and the Wenatchee World on the other, and they have set up shop. And Erica, my guest this morning, I'll let you introduce yourself to our television family.
Hi, thank you for coming. I'm Erica Moshe. I'm the Executive Director here at the Brave Warrior Project.
And the Brave Warrior Project has been around for 5-6 years.
Yes.
But here in the Wenatchee Valley, how long has it been established?
We established our nonprofit in 2017. Our efforts started before that. I have a child who's severely impacted by autism, and basically I was told that our family would have to move for services when he was diagnosed. If we wanted him to receive therapies and services, he would need to be as functional as he can be.
As he possibly can, right.
Right, and so we were gonna move. We didn't want to. I was born and raised here, my family's here. I've got aunts, uncles, and cousins, and I really wanted to stay, and I didn't want to leave our support system, especially raising a child with such unique needs. And so we stayed, and I made it my mission to bring those services here, and we've worked really hard over the last 5-6 years to do so.
For those of you who don't know, and you're going, I know the viewers are going, Brave Warrior Project, why does that ring a bell? Why don't I know more about that? What is it that you do? What's the mission of your organization?
So our mission is to eliminate barriers for children with disability, chronic illness, and cancer in small town communities.
Because they don't really necessarily have the support, as you were just mentioning, with your child with autism, the support might be available in more heavily populated urban areas, but not so much in sparsely populated areas like this.
Exactly. So when we started our organization, the Brave Warrior Project, there was one other organization called Parent to Parent, and it provided support for families that had children with disabilities. And that was the only thing available here locally that we are aware of. And so when we started, we only had that one support, and there were very limited therapies with year-long wait lists. And so we really focused on what the families wanted and needed to thrive and raise these children. And so we worked to eliminate those barriers, and we kept our mission a little bit broad because there's so much need and so much work to be done here in our community and for these kids.
And like a lot of nonprofits, you are answerable to a board of directors, but that board, I noticed all the members of the board, I think almost without exception, also have children who have either chronic illnesses or developmental disabilities. So everybody who's involved in this has a vested interest in this.
Absolutely, yeah. Most of our employees, they have children or siblings that have a disability or a chronic illness. Or our board members, we have board certified pediatricians, physician's assistants, we have therapists. So all of them are really vested in what we're doing and the change that we're making.
When you go out to various businesses, say we talked about the rock climbing gym out there by the Town Toyota Center and the Eastmont Aquatic Center and things like that, are they like, we'll do whatever it takes to help you guys get a leg up on your organization? Will you get good feedback from the community and businesses?
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the things that we're working really hard on is building an inclusive community, and there's so much need that our efforts are focused on not just this space, but also working with our community businesses and members to allow and accept our kids to come into their environments and participate. Our kids want the same things that every kid wants. They want to be able to rock climb. They want to be able to swim. We live by a big body of water, and they're so receptive and kind when we approach them with our idea. So they've really been receptive. They want to work with us. They do what they can to offer the programs, and we work with them to just make sure they have what they need and the tools that they need to offer it safely. So we do a lot of training with individuals and partners. We just kind of meet them where they are, and we work to be able to offer those programs and services, and it makes our community bigger and better, and it allows our kids to get out there and have opportunity for the social, the play, the recreation, and so it's really exciting.
Talk about the facility that we're here. Again, we're in the old Wenatchee World Press Room, which they moved out of the 9th Street facility 20 years ago. And it's pretty sizable. It could be maybe a little bit more welcoming, but you're also stuck with whatever the infrastructure is. Talk about the building we're in here right now.
Yeah, so we moved into this building right before the COVID pandemic. So we were open for a few months and then had to shut our doors during COVID. We have, I think it's about 4,000 square feet, and we offer several programs through here. We have our parent-to-parent program. We're now the sponsoring agents of that program that was here when we started. We have our Respite program. Respite is a huge program. It provides a break to parents that have children with unique needs. Oftentimes, daycares and childcare is really hard to find, and so parents don't get breaks. And so we offer respite 2 days a week and then every other Saturday. And we have about 70 kids that participate in that, and they get to come and play here in our great space. We have a chill spa and soft play, and we've got sports equipment, and so it's really exciting. We have a kitchen. We're hoping that eventually we can do some adaptive cooking classes. Really, there's so much need. We just, we want to focus on one thing, build it, and then go to the next thing. So
how do kids who are involved in the Brave Warrior Project, how do they end up here? I mean, the family physician says, gee, we're a little worried about Johnny's testing. He seems to be a little behind. He's showing signs of this or that. Or how do they become aware of you?
So we have partnerships with Confluence Health. We get referrals from Columbia Valley Community Health. There's a program called the Birth to 3 program. We get referrals from them. We have referrals from Grant County and Okanagan County. It just depends on who they're seeing, but they hear about us through their physician or other parents, and then they call in and they talk to our parent-to-parent coordinator, Amelia, first, and then Amelia kind of guides them and meets them where they're at, parents. So if that's respite, if that's rock climbing, if that's just needing to come in and have a cup of coffee to talk because they're having such challenges, or if they need internet services to fill out an intake form for therapy, they can do that. And so referrals come from all different sources. Just this last year alone, we've had over 1,000 family encounters, so there's a significant need for what we're doing.
How do you know you're making an impact? How do you know if you're dealing with a kid who, we'll say autism as an example, although it could be almost anything. How do you know that the Brave Warrior Project and going out and interacting with the kids and having this sort of organization, how do you know that you're making a difference? Is there a tangible measuring stick?
So that's a little bit more difficult. But what we do know is these kids, the families are telling us that their children are more social. They're using words for the first time. We had a little guy, he comes to our respite session, and his mom, we didn't have respite, and his mom puts his daily schedule out, and she writes on that daily schedule, and he wrote the word BWP for the first time per mom. Parents are saying they're less stressed, that they're getting a break. We had one parent who has a child significantly impacted by autism tell us that for the first time in their life since they had their child, that they were able to go get ice cream with their other kids as a family because she was able to come here and have respite services, and it's a little more difficult and challenging to have her out in the community. So feedback from parents and kids, I mean, you see our kids are excited to come. They don't want to leave. They hide when the parents come because they want to play.
That's a good problem to have, isn't it?
So that's kind of how we measure our success, and they keep coming back, and we keep getting referrals. So. And
it's a built-in support system, as you mentioned already, for the parents themselves or the caregivers. There's help out there for them, and then they can talk about their issues with the other parents who are dealing with the same kind of situation.
Exactly. We really try to focus on the whole family, not just the child, because if we're functioning as a whole, well, then we're going to be able to focus on the things we need to focus on, which could be quite significant depending on how impacted their child is or what needs their child have. So we really just try to meet families where they're at. And one of the big things that is really important to us is that we're meeting the needs that families have. We're not just creating these programs based off of what we think. We're meeting with families, we're listening to families, and we're looking at what can we realistically do and how can we serve these individuals. And so we really focus hard on working with those families to identify those needs and fill those gaps.
It's the holiday season, and this is a nonprofit. You got a budget you got to meet. This is what we call the big ask. How do we help? How do the viewers of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, the NCW Life channel, and anybody else give you guys the necessary infrastructure you need to keep up your good works? How do we help?
So we are participating in the Give NCW campaign at the Community Foundation. So you can go on to our website or their website and donate directly to our campaign. We have our website that you can go to if you want support or need support. You can donate there or request support. They can call, families can call. Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that you see here, all of this stuff, almost all of it was donated, right?
Yep, absolutely. Most of it was donated through, our community members. Yeah.
That's fantastic. What's a good day for Erica? Give me a good day. You're home from a hard day of work at the Brave Warrior Project, and you've had a good day. Give me a good day. Let's close on a good note.
I think the best thing for me, like my best day, is when I get to see our kids at Respite, and I get to see, the back end and the busy work and the business stuff, there's a need for it. But when I actually get to see our kids and participate and play and have them come up and high-five me and hug me, I think that makes my day, and it just makes all these efforts worth it.
You'll be happy to know that I easily found the website. All I did was type in Brave Warrior Project, and it popped right up. And it's got everything that you need in there, and tons of information. It's very well done, by the way. And again, you want to give them a head up, you can go to their website directly. The NCW Community Foundation is the conduit for all that, and they're great folks to be involved in as well. So kudos to them for helping them out. Anything else while we have you here, Eric, before we cut you loose and let you go about your busy day?
I don't think so. Thank you. Thank you for sharing our story, and we're excited. We're always looking for volunteers as well. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing the good work that you do with us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Chiropractic and Integrative Multicare specializes in all level of injury care. If you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, have a sports injury, or a simple fall, call today for a free consultation. They offer a combined multi-care approach with medical, chiropractic, physical therapy, massage, and acupuncture. For relief from long-standing injuries to basic solutions for the weekend warrior, Latimer's Chiropractic Integrative Multicare is one stop, one location.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Ready to wrap it up on this chilly Monday. We are now at 3 degrees in downtown Wenatchee. At one point this morning, we got all the way down to just 1 degree, which ties the record high for December 27th. We got down to 1 degree back in 1996. This is the coldest temperatures we have seen here in the Wenatchee Valley since 2009. It's been 12 years since it's been this cold. In fact, we have some historical ideas to look at. Take a look at Wenatchee. What you're seeing there is the coldest temperatures ever recorded, as well as the last time the temperatures were 10 degrees or colder for the high, or -5 or colder for the low. So apparently, the winter of 1968 was pretty darn cold. Look at that, -21. And now this is not on this date. This is all-time cold temperatures. It's chilly. As you can see, the last time we got that cold was 2009, and we got all the way down to 1 degree. And by the way, Omak right now is at -2 degrees, and they have a wind blowing north to south at 25 miles an hour. You factor that in, the wind chill, -12 in Omak. In fact, we have another slide to show for you from the National Weather Service. This is your winds through Monday. Take a look at the Omak Okanagan Valley. It is going to be, it's going to feel unbelievably cold there, just dangerously cold, really. And not only think about people, but you think about pets and cattle and livestock. The winds, by the way, will be dying down as the day progresses. All right, real quickly, sunshine about 17. We'll see if we get that warm. 5 for the overnight low, 18 and 5, 17 and 7. That's just darn cold. Anyway, you look at it, it's going to be cold all the way into the early part of the new year, maybe even longer than that. And yeah, we can get about an inch of snow come Thursday. So you were warned. Stay warm out there, all right? And stay safe, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.